guys! My laptop just froze. I'm not really sure where it actually started recording, but hi! I hope you guys are doing well. As you can see, my NJ is now on my right side. They did have to just replace it, mostly because I think that the sinus infection, they were going to be in there anyway. They just decided to go ahead and just switch it instead of trying to fix it. But they said they probably could have fixed it, so that was good. And then when I woke up from the anesthesia, I had another one of my hemiplegia episodes where I couldn't, my left side was really kind of, gets a lot lighter. The sensation is different. It's really weak. I could hardly move my fingers. And it got better pretty quickly. Yesterday morning I was able to, for the first time, like stand with weight on that leg instead of just like on my right leg only. And I'm walking now. It got better really quickly, so that was on Monday, and then by Thursday I was doing 10 times better. We think it was because it was an anesthesia-induced one, so when the anesthesia finished wearing off, it did too. I also got some really interesting news. It's been kind of confusing because it wasn't what we expected, but it's good too. My mito testing from my muscle, nerve, and skin biopsies were normal, and we expected them to find a higher mutation load in them versus my blood, and we didn't. So that's been very surprising, but good, because that wasn't an easy diagnosis to have. I was okay with it. I was at peace with it. But now that I don't have it, it's kind of a relief too, though it's really hard not having full answers. And now where I'm kind of going, in my mind, I'm going back to where we were before this happened. I was talking to my neurologist about how much of this could be my POTS, and she said I think a good bit of it could be your POTS. So, who knows? And they're also doing some other things like hemiplegic migraine testing and some things like that. So we'll see what those say. I'm trying to think what else happened. That's pretty much it. I couldn't get to the rehab hospital. We tried again. They denied me again, but I have a bunch of outpatient appointments for, I think, they're like the 29th, 31st, and I think the 4th. So it'll be fine. We'll do that. I have feeding clinic and OT, PT. It's not really, maybe it's not a feeding clinic, I think it's more like speech therapy, but it's kind of clinic because there's a whole bunch of, there's a doctor, there's a nurse practitioner, there's someone, I don't know who she is, there's like 4 or 5 people, so hopefully that's really helpful. I guess that's all, then I'll move on to the questions. Caroline. Compression host tightness, minor than middle, they're 20-30, so it goes 10-20, 20-30, and then 30-40. I was told that 30-40 would be tighter, but they might not, there isn't a ton of difference between them all. A lot of you girls might even be using TED hose out there, I don't know. I've used TED, I think they're horrible, they bunch up everywhere, they're not very tight. You can only get like small, medium, large, they don't come in, I think it's like MH, whatever the measurement is. You can't get that. So I recommend Jobst. I think I'm saying that right. I got corrected once by my physical therapist. I got called a rookie. I was like, I don't know. No one ever said them to me. Everyone says Jobst. I think it's Jobst hose, and I don't have them on right now. Actually, I got a shower and I was too lazy to put them on. I need to go do that after I'm done here. And I find they really help me. I notice a big difference when I don't have them on. They help me when I'm hooking, I think. I think the two of them together is really good. So I didn't think of that when I was talking about the hook maneuver. I'm talking about doing it with compression hose on. I don't know if it makes a big difference when you don't have them on. It might not. Might just not work quite as well. And Caroline, do you dream a lot, and are they vivid? I dream very vividly. I don't really have bad dreams, though. Like last night I was dreaming about having dessert, but it was in my school and I could see everything, and I was seeing people I knew and like looking at the little nuts and the chocolate, and like it was really vivid, just stuff like that. And just really like, I used to have more crazy dreams, like action dreams, but I don't have those anymore. Now it's like, I want a cookie. I'm sorry that I got mixed up with the questions. I don't know how I did that. I do that, I'm sure I do that a lot. You guys probably just too nice to say anything. Like, I write them down with your names, but, and then, oh, you know what, I do know what happened with that. I hadn't gotten to finish your video that week. I'd started it, and I hadn't finished it. So, I think when I got the questions from, like, someone else's video, I don't know what happened. And I love your aviators. They are so pretty. You look so pretty in them, but they're so cute. I love that. My sister loves aviators, and I don't know, I can't really pull them off, but you guys look great in them. How was your horse, by the way, when you went to see? That was really, I think it's a he. It's really good. I'm glad you got to go out. I know, I miss it so much. It's definitely something that I want to get back to at some point in my life. I hope I can. It's awesome. It's stinking amazing. For all you guys who don't have never ridden or jumped or anything, it's just such a thrill. So yes, so helpful. I can't get enough in right now. It's frustrating. But I'm still getting a decent amount. My hot has been so great the past couple weeks, but I think with the fluids are a big tool for me. Oh, and yeah, and it's physical therapy as well. And I know what you mean by that peanut ball you said you have. I've used them at physical therapy. I just have like a regular round one. Colleen, so the schoolwork harder now that you have everything. Oh my gosh, my teacher said they even saw like the switch in me, this change in me. And just within a couple of months when my dysautonomia really flared last winter. Actually, it's been a year in January of diagnosis for me. And it had been harder for a long while, but I was still able to do well. And then all of a sudden it was like I couldn't keep up. I couldn't think straight. It was just bad. And I have a really hard time with concentration. And I have just a really, really hard time with it. Does fighting affect you? Yeah, because I think, fighting is a bit of a cardio activity, so I think it's our heart rate's up. Probably isn't the greatest. I don't know if it affects me a ton when I'm running, because I've always been pretty good at like blocking people out, like not people, but you know, things that are upsetting. Just kind of like, I don't know. I've been good at that, but it's harder when if it's like you fighting. You can't really block that out because you're participating. I loved your sketch, your doodle. That was so cute. I love doing stuff like that. I would always get in trouble in school for not paying attention and just doodling or whatever. And I am so sorry that you've had your period since Christmas Eve. That does not sound like health. I guess healthy is the obvious word, but that does not sound right. I think you should probably see someone about that. Oh my gosh, that's so miserable, because I get so sick with my POTS, my period. I don't even know what to say. I like, for sure I heard you wrong when you said that. That's just ridiculous. I think what else? I'm glad you liked my pot house comment. That one sounded so bad, but that was kind of funny too. And I'm pretty sure you had to play your ukulele for us. When you pulled it out and then put it back down, I was like, wait, no, you didn't play it. I totally want to see you play this thing, so promise me you will play the ukulele for me on your next video or something. And the link didn't work. I really wanted to see what you were talking about, but it didn't work. What kind of wheelchair do you have was another question I had for you. I'm getting a Quickie GT. I have another type of Quickie right now. A folding Quickie. I'm getting a rigid. So what kind of wheelchair do you have? And anyone else out there? That's not really my question for the week, but and I think you should do auburn. I think you'd look really pretty auburn. I like your dark hair too, though. All you girls are so pretty. I love you. Olivia. I wrote down you're welcome. I don't remember what I was saying that for. But You're welcome. I should have made better notes. And I'm really glad that you're getting out more. That's awesome. I think that's always a good goal. I try and do that too. I can't go out every day, but I try to like go out a couple times a week or whatever, you know, definitely not let too many days go, like more than a couple days go before I've done something if I can. Doesn't always work out that way, but it's been, aside from a couple of things, it's been doing a little better there. Like just putting eye makeup on. I don't wear much makeup, but I know what you mean, like especially for me with like eye movement. Just like, I think you're right. Anytime I do physical therapy, I put my hands over my head. Like I had a horrible pot slur in the hospital. Maybe I dropped my blood pressure real low, and I wasn't tachycardic, but my blood pressure was low. It was in the 80s, and it finally started climbing again, and I felt better as it climbed. Felt so much better, obviously. Duh. But anyway, I just have trouble with, aside from the fact that I have my arm up in the air, I think doing things like close to my face and trying to focus with my eyes, and it makes me dizzy. Things with my, like moving my eyes a certain way make me dizzy, different things like that. So yeah, I would say that I have, even though I haven't put on eye makeup recently, I'd say I probably would. And we do have Pancake Day. Someone was telling me about it. And we have IHOP. And I love pancakes. I'm sad that you can't eat them. They're so good. Like, I crave them sometimes because they're something I can eat. Like I can just drench them in syrup and I can eat them almost any time. Like if I'm eating any type of food, I can usually eat pancakes. I came home from the ER once and I wanted them in the worst way. I think that was last Thursday. I wanted pancakes so bad and Mom made me some. Thanks, Mom. Rachel. You're beautiful. Don't apologize for anything, silly. You're so pretty, and you always look so great even if you're not feeling well. And I know what you mean. I always get my energy up for these videos too. And like that's not how I feel at all during the day, but like for 15 minutes I can I can make it happen. And most of the time. Your question was, do you get awkward around people you like? I don't have many crushes, but I don't know. I definitely can be kind of like awkward around people that, I don't know. I think if I really like a guy and I'm really into him, I'm usually comfortable with him and it's not awkward. But that's just because I don't date much. I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. I've never been kind of into guys like a lot. I've only ever had one boyfriend, and like he was my best friend to start with, so it wasn't awkward. But I've definitely had crushes, and I think I probably do. I'd have to think about it more. I think I probably do get kind of awkward. Sometimes it's hard to talk to, especially if you don't know them super well. So I guess that's my point. That I've never dated a guy or really liked a guy that I didn't know super well to begin with as just a friend. And, aw, I love you too. You're so nice. That was the sweetest thing. Thank you so much for all your kind words. I really appreciate it. And you make me smile too, and I love you. Stacy. That was funny, your comment about, you guys are so lucky you're getting the warmer weather. I'm like, but you've had summer all winter for us. That is really weird to me. I don't understand how that works, that like the seasons are like the first time I heard you say that, like when I first started watching your videos, you said something about that, and I'd forgotten that that's how it worked, and I was so confused. I was like, what do you mean it's fall down there and it's spring here, or whatever, or vice versa. It was funny. Yay for apples. I know, I was so grateful for it. I just got in the car, I was like, wow, I couldn't even believe it was just such a blessing. And I'll never have a computer like this again, but my grandpa got it for me, and I just am so grateful for it. Your favorite place to eat was your question, I believe. I hope I'm doing these questions right. I'm kind of paranoid now. I love Panera Bread. That's probably one of my favorites. I think my question would have to be, what do you do when you're up against a really, really busy week? Because I found that every time I do that, I usually end up in the hospital. Well, I think that was kind of all I had. I feel like I made a really lame video this week, but oh well. I needed to ask a question. I think my question would have to be, what do you do when you're up against a really, really busy week? Because I found that every time I do that, I usually end up in the hospital. If I have any, like 3 days in a row, or even 3 days all together, or I had 1 week where I had something every day, and I just always seem to I get so exhausted, I get one of my episodes, and I end up in the hospital. And I do my best to take care of myself during those weeks, but just even the act of just sitting up and wheeling myself in my chair, or even just being out, it's just being out, even if it's not a big deal, even if it's just something really simple, I just get so wiped out. So does that happen to you? And I'm sure it does, because everyone seems to always talk about big weeks and how it wipes them out. And what do you do about it? Because it's hard to avoid those weeks. I avoid them as much as I can and try only do a couple things every week. Like I just was making a doctor appointment. Mom's like, no, you already have 2 or 3 things that week. Make it for another week. So I did. So what do you do about those situations and those weeks? Especially for me, I have trouble because I can't just drink extra fluids like I used to, or eat extra salt like I used to. So yeah, that's my question. And I hope you girls are doing well and have a really great week. And I see my neurologist next Friday, like I said. I'm hoping she has something for me that's helpful, and I'm hoping that appointment goes well, so I'd appreciate the prayers. It's kind of been hard not having an answer all this time, and we still don't know, so about some things I'm wondering again if it could just be POTS, but we'll see. And either way, I know God's in control and I trust Him, and I'm just really excited for the future, either way, whatever happens. So I've been thinking a lot about that. So I hope you girls, again, I hope you're all doing well, and I love seeing one of you every day. It's really nice, and I really wish that we could all live together. That would be sweet. Bye.